presenting on the environmental management accounting, which is also known as EMA. I will start with the definition of EMA. EMA is the identification, collection, analysis, and the use of two types of information for internal decision making. So the first is the physical information, which is the use of flow and rate of energy, water, and materials, including the waste. And the second one is the monetary information on the environmental related costs, earnings, and also saving. It is also known as a specialized part of the management accounts that focuses on things such as cost of energy and water and the disposal of waste. So what does EMA produce? First, EMA produces physical EMA, which is procedure for utilization, flow, and ultimate disposal of material and waste. It refers to a company's impact on the natural environment expressed in terms of the physical unit, and it is also have direct effect on the environment. The second one, EMA produces monetary EMA, which is also known as MEMA. So it produces a quantifying cost, saving, and revenue relate to activities with potential environmental reference. It focuses on environmental aspect of corporate activities and expressed in monetary unit. MEMA seems to be the impact about the environment on the firm's financial performance. The difference between sustainability and environmental reporting is sustainability reporting are a method to internalize and improvise an organization's commitment to sustainable development to both internal and external stakeholders, while the environmental reporting communicate of environmental performance information by an organization to its stakeholders. The key point of EMA is it focuses on the internal of the company. Next, it is places on particular basis on accounting for environmental costs. And then EMA also encompasses not only environmental and other cost information, but it also explicit information on physical flows and fates of materials and energy. And the last one is EMA information can be used for most type of management activities or decision making within an organization, but it is particularly useful for environmental decision making. There are a few major areas of EMA. The first one is product pricing, budgeting, investment appraisal, calculating costs, and also saving of environmental projects or setting performance target. So what benefit does the EMA provide? Firstly, it will improve sales or reduce sales erosion. This is because the consumer are aware of the product and the service environmental impact, and it will influence their preference in buying behavior. Next, so it is said that reducing wasteful consumption of input resources has a direct positive impact on reducing costs. So improvement of the process can bear down on costs. So besides, EMA can also reduce the cost of failure. Company might invest in a process that reduces the likelihood and the cost impact of a failure. For example, the need of a processed water or a cleanup environmental impacts. Lastly, EMA can also improve the image of an organization. So this enables it to attract better talent and reduce talent attrition and charge it for a higher price. Initiative in EMA includes pollution prevention and also cleaner production, decreasing demand and greener product, which is good for the environment. Second, environmental performance reporting. It shows that the company are able to sustain and manage the environment. The third initiative in EMA is ensure compliance with environmental legislation. It is important for a company to comply with rules and regulations to avoid fine and legal action. Next, it improves resources efficiency, where it focuses more on reducing the cost and also provides solution by recycle or reusing the resources that they have. And the last initiative in EMA is Environmental Management System. The Environmental Management System will be presented by next presenter.
Hi and Assalamualaikum, my name is Izzati binti Razak. So I would like to continue the presentation with Environmental Management System, which is EMS. So the definition of EMS is a framework that helps the organization to achieve their environmental goal through the consistent of review, evaluation and improvement of environmental performance. This assumption will identify the opportunities for the organization to improve and implementing the environmental performance, which is to reduce the environmental impact and increase the operating efficiency. Okay, so for the basic concept of EMS framework, which is EMS was built the model which calls PDCA model, which is plan, do, check and act model. This model is to ensure that the environmental issues are systematically identified, controlled and be monitored. This model or approach is help to ensure that performance will improve over time. Okay, for the meaning for the PDCA is planning. Planning is identifying the environmental aspect and establish the goal. For the do is implementing process, which is include the training and the operational control. Okay, for the check is the checking process, which include the monitoring and taking corrective actions. For the act is a reviewing process, which is include the process that reviewing and taking action which need to be changes. Okay, for the key element of EMS, there are 5 key elements of EMS, which is the environmental policy, planning, implementations, checking or taking corrective actions, and management review. In these 3 key elements, there are several elements that can be considered, which is the first, environmental policy, second, environmental impact and identifications, the third, objective and target, fourth, environmental plan, fifth, operational procedure and documentations, six, monitoring compliance, seven, continual improvement. Okay, for the environmental policy is what the organization tend to achieve from the EMS, which is to ensure that all environmental act are consistent with the organization's objective. Okay, for the environmental impact and identification, which is the identifications for the actual and the potential environmental impact for the organization to be undertaken that can be achieved through the environmental audit. Okay, for the objective and target, an organization can find benefit by adopting long-term objectives to encourage the improvement of their performance in the organizations. For environmental plan, the detail which method and the procedure of organization used to meet the objectivity. Okay, for the operational procedure and documentations, all the procedures should be reviewed to ensure they are compatible with organization environment, which any changes should be included in the documentations. For the monitoring and compliance, often it undertaken the regularly environmental monitoring, which is to ensure the regulatory and other requirements are met. Okay, lastly, for the continual environment, the procedure set should be consistently examined to be more effective system. There are a lot of benefit of EMS, which is there are few that I list in here. Which is the first is to minimize the environmental liabilities. The second is to maximize the efficient use of resources which lead to reduce of waste. Next is to demonstrate a good cooperation image. The next is to build the awareness of the environmental concern among the employees. Next is to gain a better understanding of the environmental impact of business activities. The lastly is to increase the profit, which is to improving the environmental performance through more the efficiency of operations. Okay, lastly, for the type of EMS, there are 3 types of EMS, which is in-house, follow best practice, and the certifications. For the in-house, they are based on our own prioritize and resources. For the follow best practice is using international standard and guidelines will ensure you to consider the importance of elements in EMS. For the certification, there are obtaining of certification is to recognize the standard can increase the credibility of the EMS as well as ensuring the commitment for the staff and the management. It also helps to drive the improvement in the organizations.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Khairunnisa. I will present about the quality management. Okay, what is quality? Quality is the degree to which a product meets the requirement and expectation of the customer. Okay, what about the quality management? Quality management are concerned with controlling activity to ensure that the product or service that we offer are fit to their purpose and meet the specification. Okay, quality management help to achieve and maintain a desired level of quality within the organization. So there are 2 main approach in the quality management, which are quality control and quality assurance. Okay, the main approach, quality control. Quality control are the process of inspecting product to ensure that they meet the required quality standard. It focuses on outputs. Quality control achieved by sampling and checking. Quality control target at the production activity only, and it emphasizes required standards and defect product will be inspected out. While the quality assurance are the process that ensure production quality meets the requirement of the customer. Quality assurance focus on the process. It achieved by improving the production of the process. It the target for the whole organization and it emphasizes to the customer. Quality is built into the product during the production. So basically, quality control and quality assurance, the difference is quality control will focus on the output only, while the quality assurance will focus on the production during the production stage, their development stage. Next is cost of quality. What is cost of quality? Cost of quality defined as where and what amount of the organization resources are being used to maintain the product quality. So basically, it's the cost that we need that occur to maintain the product quality. It consists there are 3 types of the cost, which is prevention cost, appraisation cost, and failure cost. We start with the prevention cost. Prevention costs are costs that incurred to prevent or avoid quality problem, which is the cost that we incur to prevent any unexpected thing. These costs are associated with the design, implementation, maintenance of the product. Okay, it's planned and incurred before the actual operation, and it could include product or service requirement, quality planning, quality assurance, and training. Okay, the next cost is the appraisal cost. Appraisal costs are costs associated with measuring and monitoring activity related to the party. Basically, prevention before we start the process. Appraisal cost during the process, which is cost that we incur to monitor the activity. Okay, it will include such as verification, quality audit, and supplier ratings. The last type of cost, which is failure cost. This cost consists of two costs, which is internal failure cost and external failure cost. Internal failure costs are costs incurred to remedy defect discovered before the product service transfer to the customer, which is costs that we know that we detect before the product sell to the customer. This cost occur when our product fail to meet the requirement followed by the standard that we will set up. Okay, it could be include waste, any scrap, recertification or failure of analysis. Okay, the other type of the failure cost, which is external cost. These costs are incurred to remedy the defect discovered by the customer. So it's the cost that incur after our product received by the customer. This happen because of the fail to meet the requirement. External failure costs occur when the result fail to meet the requirement or we unable to detect the scrap before it's sell to the customer. So external failure costs may including the repair and services, warranty claim, complaint, and also returns.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I'm Noorhidayah Sofia. I will continue my presentation regarding total quality management. Okay, there are few principles in TQM comprised of customer focus, employee commitment, continuous improvement, and fact-based decision making. Okay, the first point is customer focus. The customer determine the quality of your product. If the product fulfills a need and lasts as long and longer than expected, customers know that they have spent their money on a quality product. To apply this, the business can do some research and understand their customers' need and expectation, or align the business organization objective with customer needs. The other principle is employee commitment. The business can't increase their productivity, processes, or sales without the total commitment of all employees. Okay, the employee need to understand the vision and goals that have been communicated. They must be sufficiently trained and given the proper resources to complete tasks in order to commit to reach goals on time. To apply this, the top management should clearly communicate and acknowledge the importance of each individual contribution to the completed product. Then, continuous improvement. The business should find ways to improve processes and adapt the product or services as customer needs shift. The other TQM principle should help the business keep an eye towards continual improvement. To apply this, the company should encourage the employees to participate in available training sessions to learn and take on new and additional roles. The last point is fact-based decision making. Okay, analysis and data gathering lead to better decision based on the available information. Making informed decision leads to a better understanding of customers and its market. To apply this, the company must analyze and check data to ensure that it is reliable and accurate, or make relevant data available to its stakeholders. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide, which is advantages of TQM. The first point is emphasize the need of market. Since TQM focus on the customer satisfaction, it provides a pathway to understand the needs and demand of the consumer market. Therefore, it enables the organization to deliver the product or services specific to the market. The second point is cost reduction and increased profitability. TQM helps in reducing total quality costs. It is based on the principle of preventing defective product or services rather than being at the expense of quality failure costs. So basically, it aims to manufacture zero defect product or services. It brings in cost reduction and increase the profitability. Other than that is reduce redundant activities. TQM applies systematic approach by assigning quality improvement team so as to reduce unessential tasks and waste of resources. Thus, it brings in efficiency. This also saves time and duplication of tasks. Next, it promotes continual improvement. The basic fundamental of TQM is continually improving for long-term success. Therefore, TQM practices are designed to bring in continual improvement to the quality standard of product or services. This results in a continuous revival of processes. The last point is develop effective communication and employee morale. Often, improper and ineffective communication are a hindrance to the proper functioning and development of the organization, whereas TQM develop effective communication and interaction within members of different departments and hierarchies of management. This will boost employee morale and teamwork. There are few disadvantages of total quality management. The first point is quality is expensive. TQM is expensive to implement. The implementation often comes with additional training costs and consultation fees. It is not suitable for very small companies to implement because the cost incurred is far supersede its financial gains. Then, it takes years to show results. TQM is a long-term process that shows results only after years have passed. It requires patience, dedication, and motivation. Many organizations give up on it after failing to see tangible results quickly. Organizations that function in highly competitive environment cannot afford the luxury of time. Then, it takes years to show results. TQM is a long-term process that shows results only after years have passed. It requires patience, dedication, and motivation. Many organizations give up on it after failing to see tangible results quickly. Organizations that function in highly competitive environment cannot afford the luxury of time. The last point is discourage of creativity. TQM is focused on task standardization to ensure consistency, discourage creativity and innovation. Task standardization describes the establishment of a set of rules governing on how people in the organization are supposed to complete a given task. It also discourages new ideas that can possibly improve the productivity. As can we see here, Toyota have applied the total quality management in the industry. This have been proven that they have received awards such as the Main Application Prize in 1965 and Japan Quality Control Award in 1970. Toyota focus on continuous improvement across all branches and level of organization. The concept defines the way in which the organization can create value for its customer and other stakeholders. Through TQM, Toyota Corporation has been able to create value, which eventually leads to operation efficiencies. That's all from us. Thank you.